Hello, I'm Grace, and welcome back to Open Wheel Opinions, the show that covers the important Formula One topics like, does Ferrari health insurance cover suicide watch? And does Fernando Alonso's defense technically count as another safety car? They're both Aston Martins, think about that.
You thought about that?
This video should be coming out sooner than the last one if I don't get copyrighted again. Waiting for it.
We're waiting.
No? Alright, let's get into it.
Mom, I don't know.
An engineer.
I hope you're hungry for this round's update of the real F1 driver power rankings. We rank the driver, not the team behind them. If your power unit fails, but you don't let anyone pass you until you get to the pit lane, you go up. If you got out-qualified by a baby, like a literal child that went to school before this summer break, you go down. So let's take a peek behind the Iron Curtain. That's the real reason this track exists. Look it up.
The Iron Curtain's lifted, and Yakov's on his own.
And see how our drivers are doing. Still last.
Last place, that's you.
Not even Budapest's iconic thermal baths could thaw this cold streak. He qualified 14th after another rookie got his lap time deleted and started ahead of Gasly for the second time ever.
That is a personal best.
However, he started losing positions by turn 2, and to top it off, had to endure a 7-second stop, not once but twice. Colapinto said in an interview that a big part of the difference this season is his confidence in the car is lacking, causing him to underperform on the corners, and acknowledges how costly that mental game is in Formula One.
It's got the hips.
He may be the first one on this list to be struggling in his head, but you'll see he's definitely not the last.
I know you can.
We're not seeing much movement down near the bottom of the pack, since Lawson's also not moved for yet another race. He did finish 8th, so I'm sure some people are already calling me a dumb broad in the comments, but hear me out.
We have found the witch! May we burn her!
We can finally say for sure his move to Racing Bulls was actually a promotion, after finishing ahead of the boogeyman himself for the first time in his life. He may have actually done enough to save his job for another year if he can keep the momentum up, which I would bet on happening given the confidence boost he just got. But until it actually plays out over the season, this could be nothing more than a fluke. We need to see more Liam, then you've earned it.
You have to earn it.
Our hopes were up this week for Oliver Behrman, as he has finished in 11th place the last 4 races, and in 3 of those, he'd qualified lower than that. So, when we started in 11th place, thought he was going to finally break the streak and score some points.
He'd like to break the streak of revenge stabbing.
Our optimistic, opulent, outgoing Oliver ousted those hopes with an obnoxious oversteering problem and got damage to his car, forcing him to retire on just lap 23. He said he was just surviving at that point, which must have reminded him of his Ferrari Driver Academy days. We need to see some points scored, a full race, hell, a cool overtake, Ollie, and I will move you up this list, please.
Show me something.
Yuki Tanuki Tsunoda has it all. He's fashionable, he's Honda's top guy, he made it into Formula One on a top team no less, and has enough money to open up that restaurant he dreams of. Well, Honda's leaving, Red Bull's burning, and he can't blind taste salmon.
This?
Don't disappoint me, Yuki. We have a problem here. This was salmon. This was salmon.
I don't like salmon.
At least you've still got that fashion sense, but the average height for a male model is 6'1", so sorry, buddy. In all seriousness, Yuki has definitely shown that his mental game is leaps and bounds ahead of where it used to be. Now that he has more seniority than his own team principal, maybe we will see Yuki start to come into his own as a leader. Just kidding, Yas and Helmut have more power than ever there.
Together, it's a conspiracy.
Lance Stroll Racing is the motorsport equivalent to a Midwestern American family recipe book. It's by definition what you asked for, just without any spice, seasoning, or anything interesting. Aston's upgrades are helping the car improve its one-lap pace, but the boys in greenish-blue are struggling to convert that to actual higher placements in the podiums.
Calm down, people. We still have work to do.
His hand injury and public perception both seem to be getting to him, and anytime we see him, he seems a lot less energetic and happy to be there than he used to. He did fight Alonso for a bit, which was neat, but I miss the 2020 Stroll. Remember 2020 Stroll? That was a weird time. Antonelli has shown that in terms of raw speed, he lives up to the name Kimi, at least for his rookie season. However, when he makes mistakes or has setbacks, he hasn't been able to match the Iceman in terms of keeping his cool and maintaining focus.
You've got to focus.
Luckily, both Hamilton and Verstappen, along with others, have offered advice to the youngling, but he can't seem to shake it off. Hopefully, finishing on pole will help, but you can't blame him for being upset he hasn't finished 3 out of the last 6 races. If he can't stop himself from spiraling mentally, he might have to use that sick GT63S he got for DoorDash instead.
Streets closed, pizza boy. Find another way home.
Bortoleto had an amazing showing at the Hungaroring, finishing his best ever results with 6th place, and no one in the paddock is doing anything but celebrating. Max has already taken him under his wing. Nico's hyping him up at every step alongside Fernando, and even his team principal applauded the bright Brazilian for staying late to help and thank the team on Friday night before qualifying.
A good team, great team, 100%.
He then fought for positions in the race against Verstappen and Alonso, and don't forget that this is a rookie we're talking about. If he can do this with less than a full season of experience, then we are in for a treat over the next few years, especially if Audi can be competitive. Everyone says don't expect a team to be competitive their first few years, but it feels like they've gotten those uneasy years out of the way during this transitional time. Only time will tell, but you heard it here first.
Yeah, she's fucking delusional.
Sainz is turning into that guy who only talks about his college days. He has flashes of brilliance, but he's getting outshone by Albon. Hungary showed more of the same, midfield mediocrity and a hairstyle that yearns for the podium cameras. At this point, the earlier questions are finding new fuel. Is he struggling with the car or just in general? Sainz had a better qualifying result, barely, but he couldn't make it stick.
Almost said me?
He had several very quick laps, only to get caught by traffic and finish 1 place ahead of Albon. Now he's spending the season wondering if Ricciardo was the real winner, going back to your home country to do sponsorship deals instead. Hadjar has missed out on the points 5 races in a row now, yet still has more points than Lawson, Tsunoda, and every rookie not riding in Lewis Hamilton's old seat. He's getting much better at defending, even causing trouble for Hamilton and Sainz, who were previously able to pass easier than jumping the turnstile at Penn Station. The kid's taking every mistake as a learning opportunity and has shown that he's mastered the mental side of racing in a championship.
In some sort of mental Hunger Games.
His racecraft is growing faster than his facial hair, so he's earned his spot of 12th on our list. Too bad he races under a French flag and not an Algiers one, because their anthem was literally written in blood. Metal. Pierre got lapped thanks to a car that leaks more than a gossip podcast starring Alex Albon and Logan Sargent. During the race, Gasly overshot his braking point after he was overtaken by Sainz, then slammed into Sainz and damaged his own car in the process. He was given a 10-second penalty for doing so, part of why he finished so low this past weekend. Flavio Briatore's over 70 years old. Are we sure he didn't think it was back in Singapore 2008 and order Pierre to do it?
So we investigate car crashes now?
Did he deserve the penalty? Yes. Did another driver in this race do the exact same thing and not get a penalty? Also yes. Did Gasly deserve to be treated worse? Yes, because he's French.
Well, I guess that makes you a stupid French...
Esteban Ocon has shown everyone that even if they don't like him, he definitely didn't deserve the unceremonious booting from Alpine last year. So far this season, he has more points than all 3 drivers at Alpine put together.
You all suck!
Granted, anyone above Gasly in the championship standings has done the same, but nevertheless.
We all suck.
Ocon showed real maturity in this race, letting Behrman pass him without being asked due to pace issues. Then the team paid him back by pitting him 2 laps late.
So this is how you repay me for how I repay you?
In other news, Ocon played a role in a French Netflix comedy called Honeymoon with My Mother. I don't even have anything to add. The joke is just French movies never changing.
And because France, it's France.
Albon's now officially better than half the grid in a car made of breadsticks and good vibes. He's racing at Williams, a team that's been racing in Formula One since 1947, so I'm sure they won't be caught out by something as simple as cooler track temperatures. No, that's exactly what happened.
Rookie mistake.
He's consistent, cunning in the wet, and Hungary just reinforced it. Even when the car fails him in quali, he can go up 5 places in the race. The man is trying to drag Williams back to relevance, and said it's going to be a fight all season.
Be gone. We're just getting started.
No one tell him Williams might be 5th in the standings, but the difference between them and 4th place is twice as big as the difference between them and last.
Who's going to be the one to tell him?
The Hulkenberg is one of the few drivers on track today that can drive a car that hasn't been competitive since 2008 and take it to the top 10 halfway through the season. As the cool dad on the track, he's definitely the one buying booze for Bortoleto and the other rookies for the United States races this season. Kick Saub upgraded the floor and his race pace improved, but he has had a hard time getting a clean lap in qualifying.
It's a small sacrifice to make.
Okay, it's a good thing we get a month off, because Hamilton needs this break more than whatever PA is in charge of filtering out Fred Vasseur's hate mail. The 7-time world champion has never struggled like this to just match his teammate, and you can see the way it's getting to him. He's calling himself useless, saying Ferrari should just change drivers.
You need to see a therapist.
We need to take this break before Zandvoort to make Hamilton go to a therapy or a mental health retreat or something.
a mental institution.
He's the highest driver on this list to be his own biggest obstacle, and no one expected it from him. Either he shakes this off and remembers who he is, or he takes that $400 million to go be a brand ambassador in Maranello until he's 80 to pay it off.
They're gonna make him do this till he's 90.
Okay. Alonso heard me drop him in the rankings last race and took it personally. There's a reason he's compared to Michael Jordan.
Compared to him, I took offense.
He masterfully cut ahead of the pack and showed us that he can still defend better than almost anybody else. He held up 3/4 of the grid, and the rookies this year got to experience the only safety car not driven by Bernd Maylander. Alonso showed us that his car may have taken a step back last year, but he's still a top talent on the grid.
Put some respect on my name. You understand me? When y'all saying my name, put some respect.
New regulations are always a gamble, but if Newey can cook, Alonso will be scary on the grid for everyone. Alonso's placed above Hamilton now because he's used to making the wrong choice of a team and dealing with the fallout. Even with his win, listening to the onboards, Lando doesn't sound like a veteran that's able to form his own strategies on the fly, and that's what's keeping him from being any higher on my list.
And you're not just being a hater.
I say it's fair to put him 5th, but I do expect him to eventually be higher when some of the older legends above him finally age out and he gets his time to shine. If another younger driver doesn't come along and turn Lando's story from the next Schumacher to the next Webber.
It should have been me, not him!
Speaking of Webber remakes, we got another Russell podium. Russell would have a lot less hate if 1, he didn't look like every high school bully Hollywood used for the 80s and 90s, and 2, if he didn't hop on the radio to complain over simple racing incidences.
Nothing, just an incident on the race.
His pace is solid, and his race IQ is one of the best out there. He just comes across as the teacher's pet to the FIA, and like he's looking for approval from his daddy every time we see him with Toto.
I'm your dad.
At least Bottas is there as the fun uncle to tell Russell that he is indeed good enough, even if Toto's dragging his feet on the contract extension. Stop worrying about Ferrari being almost illegal and focus on finding a way to get another win this year so you can at least tie last year's performance.
You better get your priorities straight.
Leclerc started pole position. Time for him to show his skills, and oh shit, he's finished 4th, and he went on radio telling his team that they need to listen to him so he can manage issues himself.
I am surrounded by imbeciles. Must I do everything myself?
The official Ferrari line afterwards was Leclerc saying he got more detail after the race, and there was nothing that could have been done. Yet again, Ferrari would rather pretend there's no problem and force their drivers to stay quiet to the media.
But this is one big damn conspiracy!
What would make sense is that they ran an over-aggressive setup, skinnier wing, or lower tire pressure than Leclerc likes, and they underfueled him, but Ferrari can't admit they made a mistake and have to be all secret about it. Leclerc is still an amazing driver who held the faster McLarens behind him for over half of the race. He deserves so much better.
Know your fucking place, trash.
We saw something new from Oscar at Hungary: impatience. He'd been chasing Norris for the last 7 laps of the race, and instead of waiting for one more lap to sail past his teammate, something he's done so many times before, he tried to overtake a lap early and blew his only chance of winning the race.
You blew it.
2nd isn't bad, and it's expected of one of the Papaya Messiahs each race, but him being impatient this way actually brings him up our rankings. You need that drive inside and passion that forces those mistakes to be the type of person that can become a world champion. Also, if you didn't know, his logo mimics the OnlyFans logo, and that just proves he has a sense of humor he won't show us.
It's time for the moment you've been waiting for.
Verstappen had his lowest qualifying position without going off track in as long as I can remember. Right after announcing a contract extension with Red Bull, he had a grocery list of issues for GP. Each upgrade package seems to be bringing the car farther down the pack. I don't want to hear any glazing comments about Max. The show states it's ranking the drivers by skill. And anyone who says they want someone other than Max in the seat to win a race when it matters is either lying or works at the FIA watching the unused barrels of leaded oil from before 1996. Max may not win much this year or next, depending on how Red Bull does with regulation changes, but after that, he can pick pretty much wherever he wants to go, and we will see his return like the Sith at the end of the prequel trilogy, the last trilogy of Star Wars.
Shut up, shut up, shut up!
And that's your post-Hungary Open Wheel Opinions Power Rankings. Some rookies climbed, some veterans crumbled. Think I'm wrong? Yell at me in the comments. Think I'm right? Yell louder so the algorithm hears you. Subscribe, like, and hit that bell harder than Stroll hits traffic in Q1. Until next time, keep your engines loud and your opinions louder.